right, class. This is going to be lesson 3. Try that again. Pen sometimes gets stuck. All right. Lesson 3-7. This is solving inequalities by multiplying and dividing. So very similar to 3-6, just this time, instead of adding and subtracting, we are multiplying and dividing. We have negative 9b is less than or equal to 45. Okay, so we want to get the variable by itself, so we're going to divide by negative 9, divide by negative 9. These cancel, and we get b, well, is something to negative 5. Now, let me give you a little hint. When you are dividing by a negative, the sign flips. Okay? So you're going to change this symbol in the opposite direction. And that's how you do that. And then we're going to graph this out. So this reads that b is going to be greater than or equal to negative 5. So we're going to start here with negative 5 because we know it has to be larger. Negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and so on. It's going to be a closed circle because it is equal to, and it's going to be larger than negative 5. So it's going to go in that direction. Tried one that was in a fraction type form. So we have 16 is greater than b over 5. So our first thing to do is get the variable by itself. So we're going to multiply by 5 to each side, because what you do to one side, you do to the other. And the reason I'm multiplying is because this right here is being divided. So the opposite of division is multiplication. The b falls down, and when you are dividing first and then multiplying as an inverse, the inequality stays in the same direction. And then 16 times 5 gives me 80. So that's your final answer. You could rewrite this if you want to put the variable first. You could rewrite it this way. But if you notice, I did not change the value at all because the open part is still facing the 80. So you can flip them around, that's fine. Just make sure you don't change the inequality value. So I'm going to draw my number line because we need to number line this. Now let's read this. This is saying b is going to be smaller than 80. So if I start here with 80, I can just do major skip counting right here, and that's fine. Now this is going to be an open circle because this is not an equal to, and it says that b is going to be smaller than 80. So it's going to have to go in this direction and be smaller. All right, and that's how you do those problems. Let's try one more. Okay, what if you had something with a couple extra steps? Let's say we had 4.00 minus 2.50 times r is greater than or equal to 500. All right, well first let's combine the terms. We wind up getting 1.50 r, and all I did was solve that out and then multiplied it by the r, is greater than or equal to 500. Now remember, our goal is to get the r by itself. So since these are being multiplied, I'm going to go ahead and divide. So we're going to divide by 1.50. What you do to one side, you do to the other. These cancel. R falls down. So does inequality. And 1.50 goes into 500. 333.33. As you can tell, this is going to keep repeating. Okay, so if I rounded this off to the nearest whole number, I would get 334. And that's how you do that. Hopefully this helped you on lesson 3-7.